join in later. Okay, so our issue now is QP. If I'm using Q, do you notice that the side becomes opposite, right? And that becomes what? Is that fine? Those of you that were lost, that's adjacent. So if I'm using Q, somebody decides to use Q. What are we going to have? We have QR over QP. And what is QR? Our QR is the hypotenuse and our QP is the adjacent. This is actually the opposite of cos. Remember your cos, so cator. So cos is equal to A over H. But what is 1 over cos? 1 over cos is equal to what? H over A. And that is what we now have. We have H over A. And H over A is simply 1 over cos. So can we then say that 1 over cos Q is equal to QR over QP? That is the trigonometric ratio. And some people went further and said 1 over cos can be written as what? What is 1 over cos can be written as? It can be written as sec Q. All right. But we said trig ratio, let's leave it as cos 10. But you'll still be marked correct here. I hope it's okay now. Those of you that said you were lost. I hope you're okay. Can I get an answer? Those of you that said you were lost earlier on, quickly. You said you were lost earlier on. Are you fine now? I'm waiting to get an answer. Or are we good? Everyone seems to be good now. Or probably those that were lost are still not in the chat yet, in the meeting. Okay, if you're lost, please, you let me know. All right. Now, okay, you're catching on. Please catch on fast. What if I want to use R? Let's use R. Let's use this one. If we are using R, what happens? Our QP then becomes what? Our opposite. So I'm using the blue. So this side becomes what? Opposite. This one still remains what? Hypotenuse. So if I'm using R, what do I have? QR is still hypotenuse, but QP is what? QP is opposite. All right? QP is opposite. I hope that's fine. Remember, I'm using R. That becomes opposite. This one remains what? Hypotenuse, because the hypotenuse will not change. The hypotenuse will not change. So if I'm using that, I now have H over, and what's my QP? O, which is the opposite of what? Sine. Remember, your sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Therefore, 1 over sine equals to hypotenuse over what? Opposite. So I'm going to now say 1 over sine, but it has to be 1 over sine R. That's why some people gave me this as what? Cosec. But please, when you write the trig ratio, put the angle in front of it so that we are able to see which angle you are referring to. All right. I hope that's fine now with everyone. I hope that's fine with everyone now. Let me know. Yes, no, quickly. I hope we're fine, everyone. Everyone okay? All right. Everyone seems to be okay. All right, I'm glad. Oh, Kabila, now you're fine. Lovely. I'm glad that you're okay. All right, now let's look at the last question. Beautiful. All right, let's look at the last question. Determine the following without the use of a calculator. And I hope you did not use a calculator here. Anyway, there's no way you're going to get a calculator for cosec. All right. So what do we do? What do we do? What is cosec first? Let's start from there. Cosec 45. Remember, don't forget, your cosec is 1 over sine. So basically, this is 1 over sine 45. By the way, quickly type in your answers. Let me see your answers first. Everybody, type in your answers. We have 10 seconds to type answers in. After 10 seconds, we will then work through. I want to see what you guys got. Okay, I'm seeing root 6 over 3. I'm seeing root 6 over 3. Root 6. I'm seeing someone say square root 6. Others are saying root 6 over 3. Please check very well. I think it's Shahir. He said root 6. I don't know whether you missed the 3. Okay, you have somebody else who's saying root 6. All right, Fatima is saying root 6. So others are saying root 6 over 3. Can I ask everyone to quickly check again? Everyone, please quickly check. Let's recheck our work because our answers are different for the first time. Our answers, root 2 over 3. Okay, please, everyone, let's recheck again. Quickly recheck, and let's make sure we have the right answers. Everyone, let's do it again. Okay. Somebody said I still got square root of 6. All right, let's just give about 1 minute for everyone to quickly, please just recheck. Root 6, somebody saying root 6 now. Because I saw a lot of people writing over 3. So I want to check if the over 3 is there. I don't know the answer myself. We are going to do it together. Oh, but I see sine 90, and I'm supposed to show you sine 90 today. Oh, okay. I see the sine 90 there. Yes, I see, Gina. I see now, sine 90. I'm going to show you. Okay, for now, you can use your calculator to get sine 90. And sine 90 is just 1. Today, you would see how to use get sine 90 without a calculator. That's the purpose of today's class. Okay, let me look through, and then we can rush through the other things quickly. All right, so cosec 45 is 1 over sine 45. Okay, we'll look at it now. All right, and what is this? This is basically 1 divided by, what is sine 45? 1 over root 2. All right, so it's 1 over root 2 there. Okay, just follow through. Everyone follow through now. I'm going to take it step by step and slowly, as slow as possible. Cosec 45 is 1 over sine 45. I hope that step is fine. And sine 45 is 1 over root 2. And I'm rewriting it this way to make it easy for us. And this becomes 1 times root 2 over 1, which is equal to what? Square root of 2. I hope everybody is okay. All right. Now, sine 90, you would see why sine 90, you see how to work with sine 90 today. Sine 90 is 1. And what is tan 60? Without the use of a calculator. Remember, you are not going to be allowed to use a calculator here. Tan 60 is what? Root 3. So let's take everything back. Thank you, Gina. Thank you. So let's take everything back into into our equation, or expression rather. Cosec 45 now is what? Square root of 2 over 1 times, what is 1060? Root 3. So you have root 2 over root 3. And remember what we said, we do not leave our denominator as a square root. So what do? We rationalize by multiplying by root 3. And so what we have, root 2 times root 3 is basically that. Okay, and root 3 times root 3, let's just go the simple way. What is this? Square root of 6 over the square root of 9. And what is this? Root 6 over 3. All right, because we know that this multiplied by this will just give us 3 straight. So this is your correct answer. Root 6 over root 3. Root 6 over root 6 over 3. Everybody okay? Root 6 over 3. Root 6 over 3. Any question? Give you 5 seconds if there's a question. Lisa, please type your question. You have your hand raised. Lisa, talk to me. Are you lost somewhere? Lisa, just type a question to me quickly. Or you can unmute your mic and talk to me. Thanks, Bibi. Thanks for getting it right. All right. Lisa, I'm waiting for you. You'll have your hand raised because I want to move to other special angles now of 0 and 90. All right. Okay, I will, Nasira. I will explain again. I will explain it again just now. Okay. Here we go, Nasira. I have a hand raised. I have a hand raised. Yes, Lisa. Lisa, please, can I unmute your mic and you talk to me? Okay, Fatima. Fatima. Fatima, can you hear me? All right, you type, why did I use 1 over root 2? Okay, for sine 45. All right, that's your question. Okay, Nasira, I'm going to go through the whole thing again for you. Even if, Fatima, even if I used root 2 over 2, I will still get the same answer. I will still get the same answer. All right, let me try to work it out for you. Lisa, I do not see your question, but I'm probably sure you were lost somewhere. So I'm going to go through the whole thing again. All right, so we have cosec 45 over sine 90. I told you that today's class I'll help you able to show you how to get sine 0 and sine 90, and even angles that are greater than that. Okay, so we said cosec 45. Cosec. What is cosec first? Is 1 over sine. So basically this is 1 over sine 45. So I have 1 over sine 45. Okay. All right. Now, Fatima, I'm here with you now. If I use root 2 over 2, which is 1, so I'm going to have 1 divided by root 2 over 2. And that will give me what? 1 times 2 over root 2. Remember, we're not going to leave this, but for now, let's have it as 2 over root 2. Okay. Sine 90, we said it's 1, and tan 60, we said is root 3. So let's bring all the values in. So I have 2, I have 2 over root 2 divided by 1 times square root of 3. Okay? Now, what will this give us? What will this give us? It gives us 2 over root 2 divided by root 3. Does that make sense? All right. What are we going to get? Becomes 2, if we change that, 2 over root 2 times 1 over root 3, which gives us what? 2 over the square root of what? 6. But remember what we said. We are going to what? Rationalize. 2 over square root of 6 times root 6 over root 6 will give us what? 2 root 6 over square root of 6 times square root of 6 will give us what? 6. Now 2 there, 3, which gives us what? Root 6 over 3. Are we okay? All right, lovely. I hope everyone is okay and everyone is on board right now with what I have done. All right. Okay. Fatima, are you good? Fatima, are you good? Okay. All right. Lovely. Good. Now, a new session today. And okay, I'm going to extend the session for a few seconds now. I'm going to, for a few minutes so that I can explain how to deal with the other things. So we're learning afresh now. Homework well done. Good job, guys. Okay. Now, here's what we have. And please, I need you to follow here carefully. I need you to follow here very, very carefully. And I'm going to be as slow as possible to make sure that everyone gets what I'm about to do. After this, you'll be able to deal with your 90 and 0. I'm going to, okay, so we'll continue with special angles 2. Special angles on special angles in quadrants. Okay, special angles in our quadrant. So this is what I'm going to do. I will then quickly draw in the video I sent to you. I made a very detailed explanation on this. All right, please look at this. I'm going to start with one angle first. I have an angle here. Okay, I'm going to call this angle theta. Please, I need you to watch this. This is my X, and that's my Y. Positive X, positive Y. What am I going to have here? Negative X and negative what? Y. All right, please just look at this quickly. I'm going to first combine the whole thing, then split the angles later. All right. So here, I am going to call this an X value because it's on the X axis, right? And this is vertical. I'm going to call it Y. If I were to draw a circle around here, look at this. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to draw a circle here. Oh, actually, I've started. Yeah, I'm going to draw a circle there. Good. If you look at that circle, what do you call from this point to that point? It's a radius. Everybody okay? So we have X, we have Y, which is the vertical, and we have the radius. Good. Now, what is sine to you? Sine theta. Sine is opposite over what? Remember, opposite over hypotenuse. And what's the opposite? Y. What is the hypotenuse? R. Everybody okay? Can I quickly get a yes or no before I move on? I need responses on what I just did. Using a circle now in a Cartesian plane. Quickly. I just need responses. If there's a no, then I can re-explain. Okay, I have one no. I have somebody say no. Okay, I have two no's. Okay, because of the no's, I'm going to re-explain everything again quickly. Just one no is enough for me to re-explain. Now I've got two. It means I didn't do a good job. I'm going to do it again. Please follow through. Do not allow any distraction. This is x, and this is y. Positive x, negative x, negative y, positive y. Let's draw a circle here. That's a circle there. This circle has a radius. All right, so I'm going to draw the radius of the circle there. Is that fine with you? That circle has a radius. In fact, let me change the color of the radius. That circle has a radius. Good. If that circle has a radius, which means I can create a triangle here in this radius. Just want to get a different line. Lovely. I'm going to draw. All right. So I have this. Now that's a right angle triangle. Are we okay there? If we have that now, my radius of a circle can be represented with R for radius. Now, here I am dealing with the X, so I call it X. I don't know the length, so we just call it X because it is on the X axis. Why this side is on the what? Y, it's vertical because it's the side. So it's Y. I hope you are okay now. Now I have my angle here, and we're calling this angle theta. We're just using expressions so far. So what is sine theta? You remember we are still going to work with so, ka, toa, where sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So what is my opposite? Which side is opposite? We've been doing this for 4 days, so you should be very fast with it now. Y. And the hypotenuse, that's my angle 90, remember. My angle 90, so R is my hypotenuse, R. What is cos? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, let me do this so that it's easy for us to see. This is opposite, this is adjacent, and that's hypotenuse. Does that make sense? So what is cos theta? Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. My adjacent is X over R. What about tan? Opposite over adjacent, which is Y over X. Everybody okay? Everybody all right now? Let me see if I have messages coming through. Okay. Ali, I need you to talk to me if you're okay. Monica, I need you to talk to me if you're okay right now. Monica, fine. Ali, I need you to respond to me quickly on what I just explained now, what I re-explained. Because if you get this, we're going to move around this whole circle now, and I don't want to lose you. Thank you very much, Ali. Thank you. So everybody's fine. In 5 seconds, is there anybody who is lost? We are going to go around the circle now. So I need you on board, and I have a meeting at 11. We're good. All right. No one is saying, so everybody's saying fine. Now, but this is what I wanted to check here. This is the key. Here, I am dealing with what we know as the first quadrant. And do you notice that my X is positive here? My Y is also positive. By the way, your radius is always positive. You cannot have a radius with a negative, a circle with a negative radius. I mean, how do you draw the circle with a negative radius? It does not exist. All right. So what we are saying is this. I have a plus Y over a plus R, which is positive. Positive X over a positive R, which is positive. You would get me just now. So in this case, sine is what? Positive. Cos is positive. And tan is positive. Which means in the first quadrant, the three of them, we just use the word all. All are positive. So we write A in the first quadrant. Our A simply means sine is positive, cos is positive, and tan is positive. Everybody okay? And if you notice, in your first quadrant, our angle theta is actually less than 90. So this is how we write it in the first quadrant. Theta is between 90 degrees and 0. We did this in term 1. Or we write this. Theta is an element of angles between 0 and 90 degrees. It's a term 1 terminology. So my first quadrant, I'll summarize this again. My first quadrant, my angles are less than 90, but greater than 0. And this is how we write it. We'd either write it this way. Theta is between 0 and 90, the lesser one always on the left. Or we say theta is an element between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Everybody okay? That's everything you need to know about the first quadrant. Everybody okay? That's everything we need to know. Your angle is smaller than 90. That's why if you go back to your calculator and press any angle that is less than 90, it will be positive. Look at sine 89. It's positive. What is cos 89? Positive. All right. What is tan 89? Positive. Guys, we're going to get logged out again in 10 minutes, but it's okay. We'll log in again. This we must get before the day is over. I am going to jump into my second quadrant. Okay, there's somebody who is annotating on my page. If you are that person, please kindly stop. If you have a question, please just type in your question. All right. Now, I am going to move into the second quadrant. Please, I need you to focus on this. I still have somebody writing on my page, please. Can we not do that? I am moving into the second quadrant. Look at this. I am now using this angle. Please watch this. I am using that. Or rather, let's do this. Let me create something. Let me create a different one so you don't get confused. Let me create a different one. Just a second. I don't want you to get confused. So I'm going to draw 4 of this so that everyone is fine. Okay. Here is my circle. It's the same thing, right? But I am extending my angle now. All right. The first time I was below 90, I'm exceeding 90 now. I'm coming here. The first one was this, so I'm going to just keep the first one for you. This was R. Now, this is still radius from the center, all right? And we said the radius will always be what? A positive value. Radius would never be negative. Okay, so we said this is positive y, all right? And negative what? Y. Positive what? X. And negative what? X. Is that fine? Okay, please watch this. What was sine here? Sine is y over what? R. What is cos? Cos is x over r. And what is tan? Tan is opposite over, remember, y over r. Okay, let's confirm again. Y over r, x over r, and y over x. Y over r, x over r, and y over what? X. Okay. So I'm writing the first quadrant here. The first quadrant. It's positive over positive, positive over positive, positive over. All right, let's come here to the second quadrant. Sine will still remain y over r, guys. Cos will still remain x over r. And tan will still remain y over x. But what is going to happen now? What about the sine? I am now in the second quadrant. This is the second quadrant. My angle is greater than 90. So I have theta, all right, in between 90 and 180. It is greater than 90, but it is less than 180. All right, greater than 90, but less than what? 180. And we will use calculators to check. So please focus on this side. I want you to focus on this block now. In this block, is it okay to say that my x is negative? Is it okay to say my y is still what? Positive. And my r will forever be positive. So what is sine? Plus y over plus r. Sine is what? Plus. What about cos? Negative x over what? Positive r. So cos is what? Negative. What about tan? Positive over negative. What is that? Negative. Which one is positive? The only one that is positive is what? Sine. We write S there. Remember this one was what? A. So we have A in the first quadrant, all positive. In the second quadrant, so this is, we number going anti-clockwise. First quadrant. In the second quadrant, which one is positive? Only sine is positive. The other two are negative. I want us to check our calculators. Let's check our calculator for an answer. We said our angle is greater than 90 but smaller than 180. Let's pick an example. Let's pick 120. All right. Let's check. What is sine 120? Can you see the answer is positive? Let's check cos 120. What do you see? It's negative. Remember we said cos is what? Negative. What about tan 120? Negative. I hope it makes sense. So it is only sine that is positive. Only sine that is positive. So in the first quadrant, all is positive. In the second, sine is positive. Listen to this activity. I am going to log out now. We're all going to log out now. Or rather, it's going to log out anyway. And we would log in at 11:30. Please listen. I want you to tell me which one is positive here and which one is positive here. I would only guide you with this. Here, remember, your radius now is here. Your radius is still going to be positive. In this case, your radius also will be positive. The angles we are dealing with here are between 180 and 270. The angles we are dealing with here are between 270 and 360. You can use your calculator to check, but basically you are using sine is y over r, cos is x over r, and tan is y over x. Please, we all log in the next 4 minutes. At exactly 11:30, I'm going to log in. What am I expecting? You should be done. Tell me which trig ratio is positive here. Which trig ratio is positive? Remember, all positive here. In the second, only sine is positive. I'll see you at 11:30 with that classwork done quickly. So you have 4 minutes. Check which one is positive and which one is positive. Before we go, I've got two things. Sir, does it include 90 and 180? Ramesh, I'm going to help you with the 90 and 180 once we get which one is positive and positive here. Shahir, sir, why are we going anti-clockwise? Okay, I'll explain that. It's the trig nature. Okay, I'll explain that when we come back in. So we go clockwise, first, second, third, and fourth quadrant. Oh, sorry, 10:30, not 11:30. 10:30. So we have 4 minutes. No, 10:30. We have really 3 minutes left. In the next 3 minutes, we'll log back in. Please, your classwork now is which one is going to be positive in the third quadrant and which one is going to be positive in the fourth quadrant. All right, I'll catch up with you at 10:30. I keep saying 11. 10:30. Quickly, everyone, 10:30, just to give you some time to work.